Running full system diagnostics. Machine status fully operational. System online. All stations are now enabled. Target dog resistance. Operation overkill. Operation overkill. Go ahead. Bust it. Yo. Motherfucker.
Hey, hey. Take this mild drug and you will have a nice sleep without any nightmares. You're among friends here. You must trust us. You will sleep now. A long sleep.
You got scars deep enough to last. Heart full of broken glass, and I'm gonna paint it black. Oh, I got bruises I covered up. I've been used every time I loved. Nothing to lose when the devil comes. Oh, turn out the lights, we can turn them down, cause turn out the lights, we can burn them out, cause I know what it's waiting, I know what it's made of, what it's made of. Come and take me closer to the edge now. If you think you can't love me, you can show me how to have a breakdown. If you're gonna touch me, I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm not afraid of the dark. You can show me how to have a breakdown. If you're gonna touch me, you got scars deep enough to last. Heart full of broken glass, and I'm gonna paint it black. Oh, I'm not afraid to let you in. Come on and break the skin. Nothing to lose when the devil comes. Oh no. Turn out the lights, we can turn them out. If you think you can't love me, you can show me how to have a breakdown. If you're gonna touch me, I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm not afraid of the dark. You can show me how to have a breakdown. If you're gonna touch me. Come and take me closer to the edge now. If you think you can't love me, you can show me how to have a breakdown. If you're gonna touch me, I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm not afraid of the dark. You can show me how to have a breakdown. If you're gonna touch me.
Well, it is now time!
Oh, snap. Epic fail, Lord. And here we go.
Distance nerding.
Hey! Well, here we are. Right and ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now watching Distance Nerding. Oh, and I gotta go to the other side. I'll be right back off the screen.
The build is live, and I hope you people are ready.
Because I've got an amazing Atari to build. We've got comic book shit to talk about. This is going to be great.
He is Husbeard Graveyard.
Yes. And this is the new official. You got to change your banner back there, sir.
I know, I've been busy. I am Fresh Cut Fours.
And I am young Phil. And yeah, I mean, you know, he down right there, that gentleman right here. Yeah, guys, he's a host. That man is a host. Look at that. You know, I should have added that on there. I don't know if you can tell, but I upgraded all the music on the side where the music is on under branding. And there's a bunch of stuff that you guys can use now.
Sweet.
I figured you always had it built into your little, like an actual button.
Oh, so I have buttons, but I added ones that you guys can use now.
Sweet.
In StreamYard. So when you go to the brand tab, and this is just peeling back some of the magic for those of you that don't know what's going on. When you guys click on that brand tab, go all the way to the bottom, and there's a bunch of stuff that you guys can use now.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the build. We are so happy that you're here to join us. It's going to be a fantastic build tonight because this genius of a man right here has been just slaying it lately with our verses.
Oh yeah.
Stuff.
Oh yeah. It has been something beautiful. But before we get into all that, guys, we've got to talk about, you know, we got to do some housekeeping, guys. We got to talk about what keeps us going and what we're doing and everything like that, guys.
What does keep us going?
What gets the channel, you know, what continues to make the channel what it is and puts us out there, guys? I'm gonna let you know what it is. 100%. It's Pod Decks. Yes, That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Pod decks. Pod decks are a unique interview episode. Are unique.
Wow.
I didn't have a page up. I'm sorry. Uh, interview an episode starting prompt in the palm of your hand. So whether you are a new podcaster or an existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience or get more engagement, you're going to want to check out poddex.com. Now, ladies and gentlemen, use that beautiful code nerding10. You see it right there on the screen. I'm going to pop it up one more time. Nerding10 to get 10% off your order. So if you go to poddex.com, you buy some decks, you buy some merch, some fun stuff that they have there. Boom. There you go.
Also, the build tonight is brought to you by Dubby.
Burr, 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 burr.
Dubby is an emerging brand of energy drinks created to help focus, concentration, reaction time with no jitters or crash. Dubby contains no maltodextrin and sugar. There's no fillers, no artificial colors or dyes. Dubby is keto friendly. It's also one of the few drinks that contains Neurofactor, a nootropic derived from the coffee fruit. Neurofactor helps give your brain focus and clarity, while the 150 milligrams of caffeine and 3 essential B vitamins help you stay alert and energized. To find out more about Dubby, go ahead over to www.dubby.gg. Master, of course, and you can use the code nerding10 for 10% off at your checkout. And guess what, people? I'm out, so go buy me more. Back to you, young man.
I'm gonna say can't do it without the laugh.
Of course. Back to you, Phil.
Yo, so here we are, guys. We're ready to build some stuff, ready to have some fun. It's time for me to switch cameras here. We're gonna go right there to that guy right here.
Ah. Oh.
It's so damn beautiful.
I expect there to be a miniature person playing Atari in my Atari now. I'm gonna open it up.
I know,
and-
right?
Like just open it up and it's like, there better be a small Atari wielding man
Oh yeah.
inside of my Atari from now on, because that's the thing.
I swear that needs a line from the abridged Broly movie. That's so dumb, but it's so cool. But it's so dumb, but it's so gosh damn cool.
All right.
Oh man, what bag? You're finishing what, bag 10 or something like that, or 12?
I'm on bag 11 right now.
11.
Oh my.
Sweet.
So I'm gonna finish up on bag 11 here, and then we're gonna get into bag 12, and there's 16 bags total on this whole thing.
Yay.
It's amazing how much more complex that is than the actual Atari.
And I know, right?
Seriously. So, Philster,
Yes, sir.
how's your week been, buddy?
Oh, my week's been pretty good, man. I mean, just been working and getting through everything here, and yeah, man. I mean, it's been I can't really complain.
Graveyard, how's beard? How's
Yes,
everything?
sir.
Has it been
Good.
lightening up for you at all?
Yeah, a little bit. Unfortunately, I have to go to a good friend's from college. Mom passed away this past weekend, so
Oh no.
Sorry.
we're going there tomorrow for that. Other than that, excited. I'm finally seeing some men and some ants and some mania and the quantum variety this weekend.
Yes, that's something I need to do.
After seeing a certain bear
Mhm.
consume blood and honey.
I don't know if you saw my spoiler-free review. There was blood, honey, and Winnie the Pooh, in no particular order.
You know, speaking of
more honey.
speaking of Disney properties, I'm not sure if this could be a discussion topic at some point tonight, but is it true? Is our main man the mouse getting canceled?
What would he be getting canceled for?
That's my question. I've been hearing like some stupid rumors that the Big M is
I gave you those rumors.
oh, you gave me those rumors. Okay.
I sure did.
Is getting canceled. Like, I don't know if it's like cancel culture canceled or if he's losing like the copyright, kind of like what happened with the Pooh Bear. but apparently there's some canceling happening soon.
I don't think that Disney is going to lose that copyright just because they own the original copyright on that, and they consistently like pump out content on that. So
Yeah, no kidding. Like a new Kingdom Hearts game, for example.
exactly, like so I don't see Disney losing that on there. I mean, there are some things I can see, hardcore liberals canceling Mickey Mouse for. There were some things that he did in the past that were not really kosher.
Mm.
Like he's done some pretty. I mean, he's done blackface. He's done he's done some pretty racist things, but that was in the era that Walt Disney had it in, and it was kind of like those kind of thing, not justifying it, but were things that were normal of the time, which kind of makes it worse. But I mean, there are things like that are out there. I don't know, and it also depends on who's canceling Mickey. Is it like, again, liberals that are canceling Mickey, or is it
who even knows?
Well, is it the right? Are they canceling him like they got upset about like candy and shit? Is it like Tucker Carlson pissed off that he can't jack off the candy again?
Wow. Good night, everybody.
You can't say that it's not true. The dude gets upset about how you can't sexualize candy anymore. Like, dude, are you upset that you can't masturbate the candy? That's weird.
I always pictured sexualizing candy as like, giving it to your spouse in hopes that fun things will happen that night.
No, well, when it comes to Tucker Carlson, it's giving it, it's trying to have fun with the candy itself. Do you not hear his rant about how pissed off he was that he couldn't sexualize the green candy anymore?
I'll be honest with you, brother man. I kind of stay away from politics in general, be it right or left. Mm-hmm. I just kind of enjoy letting people live and let live, and just kind of hope that eventually, at some point in humanity, we can all just get along.
Yeah, he had a weird rant about how he was upset that, that he was upset because she didn't have heels anymore. And they decided to give
talking about the lady M&M,
the green M&M. Yeah, he's upset that because she didn't have heels anymore, and because she had sneakers instead of heels, it made her less sexy. And he was like, went on this whole rant about like how candy needed to be. It was weird.
You know how you avoid all that? Don't eat chocolate. No.
Yeah, I know, right?
Perhaps we should reach out and make him a guest on our show.
Tucker Carlson, the last person I want on our show.
Oh my gosh, dude!
And yes, Taylor, you're one of our favorite fans too. Oh man, I didn't hear that rant, but yeah, Mickey getting like the whole thing with the whole copyright for Winnie the Pooh is Disney never owned Winnie the Pooh. It was a book series well beforehand. So the 100-year limit is on not, I guess it's kind of intellectual property too, but like everything they took, all their Grimm fairy tales weren't theirs to begin with. They were hundreds of years old.
Oh, right. You know what? Hey, I just pulled it up right here. So it says, as part of this headline, Disney will lose the rights to Mickey Mouse in 2024, and one company is attempting to swoop in. Okay, so according to Hollywood Reporter, the copyright for Walt Disney's 1928 cartoon Steamboat Willie, which introduced the world to Mickey, is set to expire and enter public domain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
so
Disney!
That's what it is.
Yes, they're the ones that have been pushing the public domain years back. It's been Disney this entire time for all their IP. I think they only can get away with it. Like, I don't know, this is maybe the 6th time they've tried it now.
To Phil's credit, they're not going to lose that mouse.
No, they won't.
That'd be like Warner Brothers losing Bugs Bunny. Or DC losing Superman.
Yeah, I mean, I guarantee companies are going to try and buy the rights to Mickey Mouse. It's not going to happen. Disney's not going to allow that.
No. Not at all.
They'll find a way to hold on to him.
So who do we got on deck tonight?
So we don't have a guest tonight.
Oh,
All right, so our guest for the night is Graveyard.
You know, it's funny. I did because I was just about to say our guest is Graveyard.
I've been here every Thursday for a while now. Just the intern.
But you're the guy who has to answer all the questions. So now we get to throw stupid questions at you, and you have to answer.
Like how much you like this tumbler I have? That's all horror themed.
I'll tell you what I need. What I need in my life is a Graveyard Funko Pop, which is like 90% beard.
It would have to have like the biggest, giant, most ridiculous in existence.
With the distance nerding hat, with the Kyber Cave shirt.
If I had one.
And he has to stand on like a very special platform that says mostly pot out at night, mostly. So it's got to represent everything he does. And he has to be holding the retro alcove lightsaber.
Yes. That'd be epic.
You know, it's funny.
Full branding.
When you said if I had one, all I could think of is Timmy Turner's dad.
Yep.
Right?
Curse you, Dinkelberg.
And this is where I'd put a trophy. If I had one.
Timmy Turner's dad is like the best voice acting ever. Ooh, an escalator that goes up twice the amount of stairs. Neat. Love Timmy Turner's dad.
Dinkelberg. I'm Doug Dimmadome. Owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome.
And Cosmo's original voice when he had to keep it low, that was also the best.
Well, it's coming back, isn't it? The show's getting a remake.
Is it really?
I don't think with any original voices.
Oh no!
We're doing Powerpuff Girls all over again. Yes.
I want a Dexter's Lab reboot. I love
only
Dexter's
if Kenny
Lab.
Milo plays Dexter again. Like that's all that matters.
If Chucky plays Dexter, gotcha. Chucky from Rugrats.
Yeah.
Right. Well, because Candy Milo, she still does the voice. Like she'll do the when we went and saw her, she did an improv show with friend of the show Rob Paulson, and she did like a whole improv segment as Dexter.
Oh my!
It was hilarious.
I once knew a girl. So I was back long time ago.
In a galaxy far away.
Well, in a college far away, at the University of Central Florida, a friend of mine who I used to be head over heels in love with, before I met my wife, she and I would go out to a Friday night East Coast swing dancing get together. Like they would teach the dance for like the first 30 minutes, and then for like the next 2 hours, everybody was just free to dance. So one night I went out there and they had changed locations. There was a girl I recall sitting at one of the tables, and she was throwing out the best Dee Dee impersonation I have ever heard in my life.
And you find out it was really Dee Dee.
Dude, that would have blown me away. But she was just like going to every single table. Hi, Dexter. Hi, Dexter. Like every table, and it was so spot on.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
See, I just like to pretend I live in the city where dancing is not allowed. It's not true, but I pretend I am.
Oh, so you basically want to be in Dirty Dancing.
Footloose.
Oh, Footloose. Sorry, Footloose. Wrong movie. Same era, wrong movie.
I mean, I wouldn't mind if I got to hang out with what's his name?
Patrick Swayze.
No.
Oh no, sorry. I'm confusing movies. Not
Trinity, the Trinity Killer.
Trinity. Oh, Edward James Olmos.
No. Crap. I had his name earlier when I was doing the retro gaming with Mezzo. Third Rock from the Sun.
Oh, Lithgow.
John Lithgow. Yes.
Yeah, Lithgow.
And Harry the Henderson.
Got his name right for once.
Yeah. So,
where's it?
How you doing, Phil? You doing good?
Doing good, man. Just I've already finished bag 11. I'm moving on to bag 12 right now.
Sweet.
Just getting all the pieces separated, so then that way I can get to doing.
All right. Well, if we're to make this thing work as a functional Atari, we're gonna have to get rid of your little guy.
Oh,
No, but that's the thing is that you said that somebody's already figured out how to get a Raspberry Pi in this thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
We may not need to move him because I'm sure whoever figured out the Raspberry Pi figured out a place where it fits perfectly.
Probably.
all right.
All right.
So, Phil, I have something I'm going to share with you that is a suggestion for an upcoming build, and this is very Fours appropriate because, well, you'll see.
Okay.
I think you should. Oh, come on, entire screen. There we go. That's what I want. I think you should do that.
Oh shit! Is that Luke's saber?
That is the Graflex that in Lego. And I highly suggest that you nail that one down. I want one. I absolutely want one. And his Return of the Jedi saber is also available from Lego.
Okay, so hold on. Is that something that's out now, or is that something I'm gonna have to find?
I mean, it's out. I mean, you can't go to Target and buy it. You'll have to order it, but yes, you can get it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, is it a new kit that Lego has out right now?
Well, I'll tell you what. How about I find you the actual kit itself?
Yeah, because I will order it from Lego if it's a new kit that they have. They just came out with 3 new heads that I need to get, so it's like.
Let's see if I can find it. Where are we at on our little?
You want to do
heroes
the
and
you want
villains?
You want to do it? Yeah.
I mean, I got plenty of crap that I can talk about, but I want to save some of it for the download next week. But I'll tell you what. I told Phil earlier, but guess what? I pulled the trigger on earlier today, Graveyard.
What's that?
PSVR 2.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna take turns playing. Playing horror PSVR games, then, right?
If we start with that one that we featured this past week, then yes, that's going to be the first one I get for it.
We're like, it's time to not blink.
Look at all these mannequins. Forrest, stop blinking. I can't help it.
I was gonna say, or you intentionally blink 1,000 times to make sure that it shows up faster.
It's true.
All right, Forrest is gonna be researching how to tape his eyelids open.
Must blink. My eyes hurt.
Oh my god. Hey, this thing must be very, very small because
pieces.
Okay, that's why. It's only 173 pieces.
Oh, so it's a tiny guy.
Yeah. Because it's $25, and I'm like, wait a minute, there is no Lego for under $25. I'm sorry.
Yeah, small pieces, and then that's the thing is that it's probably like a bunch of small pieces. Again, the R2 comes with like a miniature Return of the Jedi one.
Hold on,
it's not that many pieces.
Hold on, I'm gonna find this freaking thing.
Which means, I mean, if it's a cheaper one, that's even more reason for me to get it. That's something like if there's multiple ones, then I can just build a bunch of them on one show.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then the other one, the Return of the Jedi saber, is actually custom. You have to buy individual custom Lego blocks and then assemble it with somebody's instructions who's already built it.
Gotcha, and that's what I thought it was, because that's where like a lot of people will do stuff like that, like where you just have to go to the Lego store, buy a bunch of pieces.
Dude, you know what I want more than anything in the world right now from Lego, and it's still not a kit. It's still not a kit. I want the bat jet from the first Lego movie.
You know what? I think that actually did come out
officially, because I know somebody assembled it as a fan, and it was like a couple thousand pieces. It actually turned out larger than the original Millennium Falcon from the 80s.
Oh wow.
I thought
Yeah.
they did. I thought they did the '89 one.
I have the '89 Batwing. I built that.
Yeah.
I built that on the show.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I want the Lego movie Batwing. That thing is disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say because for the Lego movie, they came out with a whole bunch of kits
hmm
that were like part of the movie, and then they were only like limited edition, like limited time.
Of course. All
Okay.
right. You want to get into this bracket?
Heck yeah.
All right. We're going to start off with the hero side, for the last hero side right now. And, let's keep check here. So, number 1 seed versus number 8 in the Krypton region is Superman against Professor X.
Ooh. Okay, again, we're going with who's the better hero, right?
Yeah.
Than Superman.
Both of them are corruptible and have been corrupted
hmm
before. I'm going to put my money on Xavier.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I can tell you who's the least boring of the two. Superman's pretty boring most of the time.
Flies around.
He is,
and
but
breaks
again, it's not about who's boring. It's about
right.
who is the most heroic, right? And it's like Superman's entire deal is being the hero and making sure that he is like literally the representative of truth, justice, in the American way, right? So it's like like he is the ultimate hero. Everything about Superman is there's a reason they call him the Big Blue Boy Scout, right? Because like he literally is. He always tries to do the right thing no matter what. Xavier is more ambiguous with his morals, with the way that he has good intentions most of the time. But I mean, to an extent, you can there are arguments from the beginning that Xavier is the actual villain of X-Men.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler says Superman. I'm going Xavier because I need to get some non-DC people here in these brackets winning.
I have voted.
The problem with like DC versus Marvel is Marvel characters are more ambiguous. They are more morally fluid, whereas
because they're more flawed.
Right, and whereas like DC characters are like the struggle between good and evil. So that's kind of where you really get into like the problem. Like some of the newer characters are a little more nuanced. Again, Batman is a very nuanced character, right? Like Batman, he struggles, like he teeters that line between good guy and bad guy,
Right. Yeah. So right now, then it's 2 versus 2. So we need, hopefully, there's someone else in the chat that can chime in here. Superman versus Professor X, who's the better hero.
Where the heck are all of our friends in the chat? Kyber Cave, where are you? Van, where are you?
Van, can you hear me?
Where's James?
Sewong, Thomas.
James
Bueller?
Wait.
Bueller.
Wait. Let me summon James really quick for you. Ready? Dwayne Johnson is a terrible actor. Go. Wait for it.
What would be funny is if you said that and then he just showed up. Don't you ever talk about Dwayne Johnson?
Removing the official title from your name.
I know. You're fired, Forrest.
All right. Well, do you want to just call it 2 versus 2, or do you guys have someone that can be a tiebreaker? Unless we got someone else in the chat here.
Let's see here.
Where's LaJack?
Yeah.
LaJack wouldn't know.
Oh.
More than likely, she would say Superman just because she doesn't know anything about Xavier.
Well, then we have our winner, don't we?
Fine. We'll move Superman on. That's all good. All right. So, Xavier, you're out.
Sorry, Professor.
Okay. So then, number 4 seed versus number 5, Wonder Woman versus Daredevil.
Oh man. See, again, they're putting really hard choices up against each other.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Daredevil is a very ambiguous character when it comes to his morals, but he does normally do the right thing. He'll usually do the right thing. He is just kind of a dick as like a person in general. But Matt Murdock versus Diana Prince. Like the thing with Diana Prince is she's kind of the same, not the same as Superman, but like, you know, she's in the same realm of she generally tries to do the right thing, but also being a ancient Greek goddess, there are certain things that she thinks are right that don't mesh up with the modern world.
Oh, hey, Eric. You summoned Eric.
Oh, I see. I mean, I guess Eric would be on that same fence because he's a big wrestling fan. So,
Right. Well, I mean, I'm going to go Daredevil because he doesn't like he could go ahead and do what, you know, like if I'm going to throw this back to a horror reference, but say Dexter from the TV show Dexter, where his job was to put criminals behind bars, but he would purposely get them off so he can kill them. I think with Matt Murdock in here as well, that he does try to adhere to the justice system, and when it fails, that's when he takes it into his own hands.
right.
So he has it from two fronts.
Which I mean, I agree with that. Like, I mean, Murdoch does kind of, you know, play that line, but at the same time, you know, Wonder Woman also kind of plays that line a little bit. My thing is I think that Wonder Woman is probably a more pure hero between the two of them.
Okay, so you're voting for Wonder Woman then?
Yeah, again, like it gets really difficult when you put it into like who's more heroic. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm gonna throw it at Daredevil.
Daredevil? All right, so we got Tyler in there. Eric, do you have a vote? Wonder Woman versus Daredevil. Who is a more hero of heroes? Heroic of heroes. Oh, Eric's going Wonder Woman. Yeah, he says he does believe killing is justified under the right circumstances.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that puts it 3 for Daredevil and 2 for Wonder Woman, which, you know, I just have a hard time not saying Wonder Woman the way they did in the 70s TV show.
Wonder Woman.
Oh, you shout it, right?
Wonder Woman.
Yep. I'll save the voice people to do that stuff. All right, well then, Daredevil moves on. He didn't see that one coming.
I did not see that one coming. Would not have expected Wonder Woman to get beaten by Daredevil of all people.
Yeah. All right, this one's going to be interesting.
I wasn't expecting She-Hulk to sleep with Daredevil anyway, so that, you know, there's that as well.
There's that.
And him to be walking down the street in his bare feet, but still wearing the costume.
I mean, in fairness, he'd have the easiest time walking barefoot. He'd be able to sense everything and not step on it. So, I mean,
yeah, very true.
Like, oh, broken glass.
Yep. All right.
Oh, Lego block.
Yep. Oh, that's worse than glass.
That's the worst thing ever.
It is. Damn Legos. Oh, wait.
You can say it's okay. I'm not offended.
Do you ever step on Legos in your Lego building room?
Yes. That's usually
why.
how I find ones that I lost.
There you go. All right. You guys are going to be the more experts, I think, in one of these categories next week.
Here we go.
I mean, it's Captain America versus Catwoman.
Oh, Captain America is
I mean,
Captain America, we're going to talk about Boy Scouts, right? Versus Catwoman, who is a character that teeters on villain and hero, just kind of randomly. No, 100% Captain America wins that.
All right, so here's the case for Selena Kyle. I'm just kidding, Captain America.
You see, she's a cat and also a woman who can play amazing basketball.
Yeah.
Because we all remember that movie, right? Haven't watched it for our memories.
That movie sucked. I'm sorry. There was
announcing the new Catwoman, Halle Berry, in the Gods and Monsters Chapter 1.
There was nothing good. Nothing good. Even nothing. Even I mean, dude,
I broke Phil.
Yes.
He's about to go full Morty on us.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there was nothing good about that movie. Even Halle Berry, as hot as she is, could not save the shittiness of that movie.
He was about to go full blown Morty.
Shit, I'm broken. I don't know what. Fuck.
It's a terrible movie.
Movie's just, I don't. Why do they make it? Just fuck.
You know what? That's what we need. We need the amalgamation universe to exist for the worst movies, superhero movies. So we're gonna have the 1990 Captain America. We're gonna have Halle Berry's Catwoman. We're gonna have Ang Lee's Incredible Hulk,
and we're gonna have Pride of the X-Men.
Yeah, that's the amalgamation universe. It's everyone left over that hasn't been swept into everything else.
Oh man, what do we got next?
All right, I think Captain America. I got Taylor's in there too. Yeah, Captain America wins.
Tyler.
All right, Tyler. Is this going to hurt? Is this also going to hurt Phil? Is the real question.
Oh God, it might.
Well, we have number 2, Spider-Man versus the Deadest of Pools.
Hold on. You said who was it?
Spider-Man, Spider-Man.
Oh God. All right.
Spider-Man.
Okay. 100% again, and this does hurt. Spiderman. And the reason is because Spiderman is a hero. Deadpool is a fucking mercenary, and he basically works for whoever's paying him the most. That is not a heroic thing.
Just skip to the next question. Just skip to the next one. Let's not hurt Phil any more than we have to.
Yeah, Deadpool is definitely. I mean, and we'll see what people want to vote on for this. I mean, if you think that somehow Deadpool is more heroic than Spider-Man, you know, it might make my heart smile. But I mean, at the same time, like, yeah, Spider-Man is one of the classic examples of a hero versus Deadpool, a dude who does not give a shit about anybody but himself.
Eric's going to add Dragon Ball Evolution to the list.
Dragon Ball
Evolution. Amalgamation.
First movie ever made.
And Speed Racer.
And Mortal Kombat 2.
I prefer Speed Racer over Dragon Ball Evolution. That movie was so bad.
Yeah. What about Avatar: The Last Airbender by M. Night Shyamalan?
Okay, you know what? That's up there with it as one of the worst. Just insults to anything ever made.
Well, the computer graphics were nice. That's pretty much it.
Aang was not.
No.
All right, sorry, Wade Wilson.
Yeah, I knew that. I knew this one was going to be a thing.
Yeah. All right. So next round, here we go. Superman versus Daredevil.
Superman.
Superman.
Next.
I mean, is again the definition of anytime you look at, and in the end, this is going to be Superman versus Captain America. It's just basically what it's going to be, right?
Then we're going to start debating.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because that is a true debate over who is the more pure hero. And if we're going comic book Captain America, it gets very muddy.
Mm.
Because remember, he's been a agent of Hydra from the beginning. Anyways, we'll get there when we get there. But
We'll get there.
Superman.
Superman.
Mm.
All right. Yeah. Chat also agrees. I mean, Eric, you're not wrong about one of those statements. Michael Bay's Transformer movies were terrible. Resident Evil, they're good. They're so bad they're good. I'm sorry.
No. The first one was the only one that I would ever consider in the realm of, yeah, that was okay. The rest of them, shitty.
Well, yeah, because they couldn't drag any other characters from other games into it. I mean, it was just Alice's deal alone in that movie.
Alice is, I'm sorry, the worst character. They made Alice just so that that Mila Jovovich could have a role in the movie.
Yeah,
I figured it was so that they wouldn't have to pay Capcom so much, money for rights.
No, it literally was so that Mila Jovovich could have
well, yeah, that's her husband that made it.
Right, her husband made a movie and was like, "Oh, I want my wife to have a role. I'm going to create a character for her to play."
Now, Eric, there's also the new Resident Evil movie that came out that was perfectly true to the game. I thought it was pretty good too.
I didn't watch that, but I heard you're talking about the one with Lance Reddick, right?
That's the TV show. They had a movie
a
year or two ago, Welcome to Raccoon City.
Okay.
It was 1 and 2 essentially combined into a movie. Like they even had the pivotal zombie hallway scene in the mansion where the zombie turns his head and stares at you exactly the same way.
I still have to go and watch that. I've got to watch that and the series because apparently Lance Reddick is Albert Wesker, and I'm like, that's a little weird, but whatever.
Why you say that? He was great. Let me tell you.
I love Lance Reddick. It's just, I love Lance Reddick in general, right? And for the rest of my life, I will never not hear his voice. And
that's Zavala.
Yeah, I was gonna say immediately not think of Zavala, right? But I mean, like,
yes.
I love Lance Reddick as an actor in general.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fun fact, and I'm going off on a tangent here, but you've seen Godzilla versus King Kong, right?
Yeah.
Did you notice the reference to Destiny in that movie?
Oh, I have to.
Quick. It's very quick. It's like blink and you miss it.
No, I missed it then.
So there's the scene where Lance Reddick is, they're like going up into the bunker.
Mm-hmm.
And Lance Reddick immediately, when Kong and Godzilla start fighting, he looks over, he goes, "We have to protect this city."
I mean, it's only fair.
Yeah, and I was just like, "Oh yeah, Destiny all the way, right there."
Oh yeah.
But it was funny because like half of my friends who are Destiny fans missed it, and they're like, "Oh my god, that is a Destiny reference."
Mm-hmm. All right.
Exactly how he says it in the game, which is like,
oh yeah.
Either it was just a coincidence that the line was the same line, and he was just like, "I'm gonna make this a Easter egg that nobody knows is an Easter egg," or it was intentional, and they were like, "Oh yeah, no, we're gonna throw a Destiny reference in here because nobody's gonna catch it."
Yeah, interesting. I'll have to go rewatch that, especially as the new one comes out that they're making. So, all right, here we go. Number 3 seed Captain America versus number 2 seed Spider-Man.
Oh, that actually is a hard one. That's only hard because I'm trying to think of like as Peter as like a pure hero.
Mm-hmm.
But he has a lot of flaws and a lot of just kind of like morally ambiguous things that he's done.
But I mean, he's always done it with the best intent. He sacrifices his own personal life and essentially sabotages himself trying to do good.
Right. Between Peter Parker and I mean, like the thing with Captain America is like if we're going off the MCU version of Captain America, he's a pure Boy Scout. The dude is just nothing but like good. But if we're going
Mhm.
off the comic book version of Captain America, which is what we tend to do on this, right?
Yeah.
Comic book Captain America has been a Hydra agent since the beginning.
But that's only very recently that
Right.
came.
But that's still a thing. It's still Captain America is not really a good guy. And when he went Hydra, he went full Hydra. Dude.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thanks.
Like
That's nuts. After 80 years of comic books, and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, Hydra. Like, wait, what?
Well, it's because they had to shake him up because he is the Boy Scout. Quite honestly, the idea of a Boy Scout that doesn't have the flaws, that can do no bad, that is near indestructible is pretty boring as a comic. There's no hook to make you keep reading.
Yeah, but we've had. I mean, we're in 2023. We have had nearly 40 years of anti-heroes.
Mm-hmm.
40 years, and it's been in everything: TV shows, wrestling mainly. I mean all I have to do is say two words: Attitude Era.
Yep.
There was nothing but anti-heroes. It's like, I'm a good guy, but I'm going to curse and swear and take revenge. That's basic. That's basically what the Attitude Era was. I'm not dogging on it because it was my favorite time in wrestling, but it's like, oh, I'm cool. I kill people, but I fight for the forces of good. But I kill people when I get pissed off. That's
Deadpool is an anti-hero. Like that's kind of
Deadpool's an anti-hero. Wolverine is an anti-hero.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I mean that's kind of his shtick, right?
You can even say in some cases early on, Lobo was an anti-hero.
Mm-hmm.
Lobo technically is an anti-hero. They still kind of like bill him as an anti-hero.
So I mean, when are they going to shake things up from anti-heroes? Like I think it's a breath of fresh air that we have somebody that's incorruptible, somebody who can't be, like taken down a notch. You know what I loved about the House of M?
Mm-hmm.
It's the scene where you see Cap as a very, very old man, and everybody's like, "Hey, you know what? Don't tell him. He's lived such a full and great life. He's done so much. Don't take that away from him." Like, that's kind of how I picture Cap. Like, when I saw old Cap at the end of Endgame, my brain immediately went to House of M, and I'm like, oh my God. This is an old man who literally worked so hard for so many years. Don't take anything away from him. That's kind of how I picture Cap. So to slap the Hydra thing on him, I'm like, man, make that a multiverse thing. Don't make that a
616. Yeah.
Don't ruin 80 years of comic books for that. Seriously. Just my 2 cents.
Yeah.
By the
I see where you're going, but I mean, like at the same time, it's the whole idea is to shake up that character and and just be like, not especially in Marvel, not every good character is good, but even same thing, not every bad character is bad. Like you look at Magneto is the perfect example of like, a man with good intentions but does it along in a bad way. I like the idea of let's not make anybody pure good, pure evil. I mean, you do have characters that are pure evil, but I mean, like, there is no character that is pure good, pure evil. And it makes them more relatable. It makes them, human flaws, whereas like in DC, you have incorruptible characters.
So what are our choices? Spider-Man and
Captain America. Yeah, we have one for each right now. The three of us haven't decided yet.
I'm giving. You know what? I'm going to give it to Cap. I'm going to give it to Cap because he will always be that 90-year-old incorruptible. I haven't just served my country. I've served my planet and I've served my galaxy. Cap has served his galaxy. You understand that?
True.
Right.
Like, this is a dude with no real braggable powers who took part in facing down Galactus.
Yeah.
At one point. Like, what do you what do you even say to that? That's like sending Batman against Darkseid
which has happened, and Batman somehow won.
because humans are desperate.
Well, because Bruce is desperate.
Yay! The pets
Yeah.
are back together.
I mean, I think Peter Parker would have undergone undergo the the serum project, especially now, just to make himself better suited to fight against evil.
Yeah.
I think he's the same way that Steve Rogers was, that he would have definitely done that just to help out. He doesn't care, like I said, he doesn't care how much it hurts him to do what he does. He does it anyway.
I think there's a certain amount of pressure, especially when you get into the grandiose stories. I think there's a certain amount of pressure that Parker will fold under. Like, I can see Parker going pure hopeless, like, the worst happens and the brood from X-Men show up and they just start swarming onto Earth by the hundreds of thousands. I can see Parker folding under that.
What's funny is you make that comment, and in Infinity War, he makes comments about stuff that's exactly that. He
I
makes
can
jokes.
I can see it. Like, I can see him giving up.
Yeah,
I can.
They make alien jokes, like specifically when he meets Mantis, and he's like, "Please don't lay eggs in my head! Please don't lay eggs in my head!" And he like starts running away, and she's just like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
I mean, fairness, is his first alien.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going Spider-Man just because I think he was so pure of willpower that he was able to not only partially change the symbiote Venom, was able to fight its corruption enough to take it off of himself before it was too late.
I mean, and again,
I look at
I'm
the.
not disagreeing
Go ahead.
with you on this. Yeah, like I'm not disagreeing with you on Pete's ability and just kind of like his capacity for heroism. This is actually a really hard one to do, because specifically Peter Parker and Steve Rogers are very pure characters.
Mm-hmm.
So like this is just a really difficult thing to choose on.
I'm giving it to Cap. That's my vote.
Yeah. Phil, are you going Cap?
It's hard because it's kind of like I want to go, like my intuition is saying go with Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I want, for some reason in my head, I want to justify saying Peter Parker, and it's like I don't know, trying to justify it in my head, because ultimately I'm probably going to go Captain America. I'm probably going to go Steve Rogers, because I mean, kind of the points that we're making. Steve Rogers is a pure hero, and is a dude who, like, the serum. What the serum does, and this is something that we've learned over time with like Marvel stories.
Mm-hmm.
Serum does is it amplifies your natural kind of like disposition, right? So you look at like other people who have taken super soldier serums, and like it's like, okay, we're guys that want to be. I mean, look at U.S. Agent is a perfect example, right? Of a guy who
Johnny Mayonnaise.
Yeah. Johnny Mayonnaise is a perfect example. Shout outs to Tommy. Johnny Mayonnaise is a perfect example of a character who is corrupted by the super soldier serum and becomes a perpetually angry person because of it. Like he is not, he's a guy that wants to be the hero, but then he has so many other hangups, whereas Steve was a purely good person. And that's why the super soldier serum took to him the way it did.
Let me ask you this: do you think he's only that character because of the era he grew up in? Like, if he was born 15 years later, that he wouldn't be as pure? Like, he didn't grow up in that war era?
I feel like Steve would be the same person no matter what era he came. Because I feel like the thing with Steve Rogers is, again, he is just his nature is just to be a good person, and he's selfless. You know, like he's willing to do anything in order to make sure that everybody else is safe. I guess that is probably what's gonna solidify my answer. I'm gonna go with Steve Rogers.
Okay. So with our two votes in the chat, and 3 of us, we have Captain America with 3, Spiderman with 2. So you know what that means. You have 2 Boy Scouts.
It comes
And
down to the
who will be the last Boy Scout? Superman versus Captain America.
This is gonna be we're gonna sit on this one for a while because
Yes, we are.
This is not gonna be an easy conversation.
I'm going with Superman.
Actually, surprised you jumped on Superman so quick.
I'm looking at it on a universal scale. Like universal, like in every galaxy, every dimension, every Superman Superman, number one, has the power, has the ability to stand for the universe in general. Like I know Cap has that as well, but Superman actually has the power to do it.
He has the power. Sorry, I had to do it.
Superman can make or break worlds in literal terms.
Well, Superman is a god, and
where we are, yes. Where he was from, no.
Truth.
True.
If Krypton didn't blow up, if he never left Krypton, he wouldn't be Superman. This wasn't a choice. This was how he was born. While Steve Rogers chose to be the hero.
Kind of. No, I mean you're also taking away from the morals that the Kents gave him. Because the thing is that what truly makes Superman the hero that he is his morality, is how he was raised, is the Kents. Because if a good example of of that whole thing is the Red Sun storyline, right? Is Superman ending up in Russia and becoming an agent of Russia and being a little more dark than he was because of who he was raised by, right? What gives him that moral compass is the Kents,
right?
So I give more credit to the Kents creating the hero that he is, because the big storyline with Superman to begin with is that he is he's a god wrestling with his own with his concept of mortality.
Right. Well, I'll counter that argument with the Kents. Is essentially you're saying if he wasn't raised in the same environment, he wouldn't be Superman. But we already stated previously that Steve Rogers was born 15 years later, he'd still be Steve Rogers.
I mean, I see where you're going with that, because the whole thing is that Steve Rogers was like you put Steve Rogers in Vietnam, right? He's still the dude that was raised the way that he was raised, and he still has the same moral compass that he has. It's
right.
him as a person. His heroics is shaped by he was already a good person to begin with before he became a hero.
Right.
Whereas Superman's heroics are based on who raised him as an alien coming into this world.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. We're discussing nature versus nurture at this point.
Oh yeah, absolutely are. And I mean that's kind of the whole thing with Superman is like, it's the nurture, because a perfect example of, or like they've already done, 2 different storylines have played with who would Superman be if he wasn't raised by the Kents, right? And it's not DC stories. We're talking about The Boys, right? Homeland.
Brightburn.
Yeah, Brightburn's a whole different monster, but yeah. Homelander is a character that he's a sociopath, right? And he has no moral compass because he was raised in a lab. Another character is Ultraman, you know, and Invincible, right? Like, dude, he's a giant piece of shit, like, and it's because, again, he was raised to be a planet destroyer. Like, his whole thing was, I go to planets and I get them ready for our empire to destroy everything. And he became a deep agent, fell in love with the woman, and just kind of forgot after a while, and then gets reactivated and immediately is like, well, fuck this, I'm destroying everything.
I like Eric's point. Cap is one of the very few people who Wolverine considers a true friend. Do you think Wolverine and Superman would be friends? No.
Wolverine would hate Superman because he is a Boy Scout.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think overall, I mean, do you think, let's put in this situation, if Clark Kent was a normal person, would he have done the same thing Steve Rogers did?
Ooh.
Now, here's the thing. If you were a normal person and he was raised by the Kents, still, right? I feel like powerless, Steve and Clark are the same person. Without powers, if you take away powers and you look at them as who they are and what they represent, I feel like they're basically the same guy.
I mean, I think, how do I phrase this?
Clark is just a country boy.
I think it's because he had powers that his parents the Kents raised him the way they did, knowing his potential to be bad if gotten in the wrong hands.
But the Kents didn't know he had powers until he was a teenager. They didn't manifest until he got a little bit old. Not a teenager, but like until he was like a young kid, right? Like they just saw that he was just like a human kid that came in. Or I guess it depends on the story, because some stories show that, like the original Superman storyline showed him as like an lifting up a ship, but then other stories, show him not really manifesting his powers until he was a teenager. Not really like what's the show everybody likes? Smallville. He doesn't really like manifest until he's a teenager. The newer Superman films, he doesn't really start coming into his powers until he's about like around 10 years old, stuff like that. So I mean, like it kind of depends on the storytelling, who's telling the story, but for the most part, a lot of the stories that get told about Superman show him kind of like growing into his powers as he starts getting a little bit older. So the morality is already there.
Right.
Like the Kents raise him because that's what their moral compass is. Like the way that Clark kind of like the way he sees the world is because of the way that the Kents raised him.
Right. Now, Eric's saying Cap is more of a true hero because he would defy authority to do what's right, while Superman would become obedient. Example of The Dark Knight Returns.
Okay, that's a good point. That is a really good point. I was going to say, as soon as you started reading the beginning of that, I was like, that's right. He does become a Nixon lackey.
I mean, obviously, forgetting the whole Hydra thing, because Superman's gone bad too. If we want to do one-off shoots and stuff like that, that
was an Elseworlds thing. It's like not continuity, but I mean, still, like, I mean, it happened. I mean, we're not going to deny that happened,
Right. But no, I think in both situations, I think if Cap had the powers that Superman had, he would be able to do the same thing with I would say,
if Captain America was a god, is basically what I'm saying.
Right. I don't think a powerless Clark Kent would have undergone the super soldier program.
Well, you got to ask yourself this: would Jonathan Kent
let him do
had gone under it? Like, would he have done it? Because if the two of them, if John and Martha Kent had just a normal child, I mean, would a Jonathan Kent Jr. do these things? Would an Earthling Clark Kent do these things? Would he sign up to go fight in a war? Would he undergo super soldier stuff? Like, do you think a Jonathan Kent Jr. would have the fortitude for such things?
I think if pushed to do it, yes. Only if pushed to do it. I don't think out of his own nature, I don't think he would do it.
I'm gonna give it to Superman.
You giving Superman?
I'm giving it to Superman.
Okay.
I stand by my universal protective opinion.
And Phil, I gotta say that's scary how accurate that is to the ridges on the Atari.
I know.
I know.
I'm looking at mine. Yeah, it's pretty damn spot on. All right, Phil. So, have we swayed you one way or the other? What's your vote?
I think I ultimately go Superman. Yeah, look at that. Look at this right here.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
What a great Lego set. That is so cool.
Look at the wood grain on it.
Yeah.
So where do you put all of your completed Lego sets?
They go on shelves in various places around my house.
So I'll have a nice museum to look at when I get there.
Oh, you absolutely will see a nice museum when you get here.
But first, you must walk the path of broken Legos to get there
Oh
to prove your
my
worthiness.
Gosh.
The path of broken Legos. I don't think there's anything more perfect than that.
Well,
right across from the Boulevard of Broken Dreams, right?
exactly.
All right, so we have Superman as our bracket
it's
winner
2
for
to
heroes.
2.
Okay, what else we got?
2 and 2. I'm going Cap because only Eric chimed in the chat. You need someone in the chat. Tater, where are you? Superman versus Captain America.
Where are you at, Tater?
So I'm going Captain America because I think his was a choice there and therefore different than Superman.
Oh, I see. Okay, hold on. So this goes up. That slides in down here.
Oh.
Got it. Okay.
Oh,
okay.
There we have it.
We have a vote for Cap.
We have Cap. Cap does it. Holy crap.
Oh, Superman. Back to Krypton with you.
Wow. I'm surprised that Captain America just beat out Superman.
Good on him.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yay, I like it, but I'm more of a Marvel fanboy, as you guys know. All right. So, that's going to be an interesting one for heroes.
Does that complete the hero bracket?
It completes the hero bracket, but I mean, you want to know who the hero bracket is?
What you got?
You want to do the final heroes, or you want to go to the villains and have the final four then?
Oh, check this out. Check this out. Hold on. I got to show you guys this. All right. So you see it's the front of the console, right?
Yep.
When you slide the front of the console out, that guy pops out.
Nice.
That's really creative.
Wow.
That's so funny.
Love it.
This is dope.
All right. Well, then let's do our villain side. We'll save the final four, see if we get to that tonight.
Okay.
All right. So the final region as the Asgard region. Number 1 seed, Magneto, versus number 8 seed, Black Adam.
Wow.
So we're going with who's the most evil?
Villainous.
Who's more
most
villainous?
Villainous.
Who's more villainous? So we have to consider all aspects of evil: manipulation, hatred, rage, anger, destructive capabilities, all of it. Selfishness.
Uh,
I feel like these are going to be tougher to call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This,
Well, I remember last week our villains was a long conversation.
yeah.
All right, so my vote right off the bat is going to be for Black Adam.
Mm,
Okay.
okay.
So what you got there, Graveyard?
Oh, Magneto. He is willing to sacrifice humanity for mutant kind.
It's true, but again, he's more noble. I guess.
I mean,
I guess
we're looking at two anti-heroes essentially. At
I
this
was going to
point.
say that the argument is also because if you take the same exact arguments that you make for Magneto, you get essentially Black Adam because he does the same thing for Kondok. You know, like Black Adam ultimately fights for the honor of Kondok.
Oh, Eric's actually he's going to SatCon. He's gonna be there to promote Night of Trolls. Nice. Can't wait for that. Taylor thinks Magneto is Neato.
Magneto!
I am Magneto, master of magnets. Welcome to die.
Oh God, what was it? There was like a whole meme where they're like, "Why does Wolverine keep trying to fight Magneto, knowing that Magneto's the master of magnetism?"
Why not? Who says adamantium is magnetic? It doesn't have to be.
But it has been. So that's the thing.
Next, you're gonna ask why does Sinister go fight the only try to steal the genes of the only mutant that can hurt him, Cyclops.
That's true. But the thing about that, in like just kind of like where you get that whole thing right there. That the thing about that is because Scott's specific genes. I guess technically anybody in that family. So it could be Scott. It could be Havoc. It could be I forgot the younger brother's name.
Alex.
Alex. Yeah. It could be Scott. It could be Alex. It could be any of them. Just I think Scott is the most easily accessible to him.
Can Cable's powers hurt Sinister? Have they ever fought?
I don't know, and I think where I kind of like teeter on that is that like Cable's kinetic powers aren't as strong as his dad's technically. That might
Right, because he's fighting off his
technovirus,
disease.
right?
Yeah.
Which that gets really complicated when you start getting into like Cable and how like they've established that he's like a million times more powerful than half the mutants that he comes across. But the only reason that he can't really do anything is because his body is fighting off the technovirus.
Well, just like Wolverine, he'd be stronger if he wasn't fighting off the poisoning the entire time.
Right.
I find it very funny that Nate Gray, the X-Man, is leaps and bounds more powerful than Cable is, even though Cable is purebred and Nate Gray, the X-Man, is just genetic material created in a lab from the same two parents.
The thing is that if you take like is Nate still stronger than Cable if you take away the technovirus?
Yes, because Mr. Sinister's entire basically Nate Gray, the X-Man,
is the purest form.
Is a completely filtered Cable. There's no bad in him. There's nothing dragging him down. He's like think of like the perfect being who can never get sick, never deteriorate. I mean, that's Nate Gray.
Right.
He's the perfect being. Like he's the super soldier, but he's a mutant and he didn't need a serum. He's just the best part of Scott and the best part of Jean, clean, uncorrupted, and there's your baby. And it's perfect. And that's Nate Gray. Whereas Cable is All right, well, you've got Scott, who's Scott, and you got Gene, who's Gene,
You got
and
Scott, who's Scott.
he's Scott. You know, look, I love Scott. Cyclops is my favorite Marvel character ever, but by God, man, does he have flaws?
Oh yeah,
Um,
he has a shit ton of flaws.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But his '90s Boy Scout mode always going to be my favorite. Um, yeah, I mean, if you filter out like all of the bad parts of the human or the mutant race, of course you're going to have a perfect being. That was Sinister's point.
Yeah.
That was Apocalypse's point.
Right.
Except that, you know, I don't think Apocalypse really appreciated the methods to it. Like
No.
he kind of Apocalypse was all about breeding and birth and I'm getting too far off subject here.
That's fine.
The point being,
That's also why Sinister cucks for Apocalypse later on.
yeah.
You
So,
like that is not even putting it lightly. He straight up cucks for Apocalypse, dude.
Nate Gray is a superior being. Nate Gray is the perfect mutant, and yet, he's not exactly whole. He's not exactly pure.
Mm-hmm.
Nate Gray is not pure. He's perfect, but he's not pure. Cable is pure. There's a lot to be said for that. I guess you could also think of it as, well, no, I take it back. No, you can't think of it that way because it's still genetic material coming together. You still create a human being instead rather than it being inside of a woman, it's inside of a machine, but it's still the same genetic material.
I was just thinking about it right now. It's like we're literally talking about 3 characters who are all named Nate.
Free girl in the
right?
chat.
Right?
All right. So Phil, what's your vote?
Um
In Fraggle, we're continuing the villain, so throw in your vote here. Who's the most villainous villain, Magneto or Black Adam?
Jesus, how did we get from Magneto and Black Adam to Nate and Cable? I'm so sorry. Host fail.
No, it's fine. It's okay. Because we need to fill time anyways, and this is perfect. So you know, tangents are fine when we have to fill 2 hours of me building stuff.
Jeez.
So Phil, what's your who you going with?
She says Magneto.
Magneto?
Yeah, she says Magneto.
All right.
It's
Well,
such a hard choice because
Mhm.
on one hand, again, you have a dude who when you look at his intentions, he's not wrong.
Oh, even James is here.
Oh, James votes for Black Adam. I know that for 100% because
No,
he
he
says
did not.
Magneto.
he said Magneto.
James-
Really?
James
Voted against
turned.
the Rock.
I was going to say he turned his back on the Rock. He turned his back on him.
Or maybe that's what he wants.
James voted against.
James got tired of smelling what the Rock is cooking.
I mean, but to James's point, you know, Magneto wants to reshape the world. Black Adam just wants his country safe. World versus country.
Yeah.
But
But they're both considered Omega level threats, though.
you've got to look at the methods. I think Black Adam has just much more, I'm not gonna say abusive, but terrible methods
I
about
was
him.
gonna say,
Whereas
Black Adam is just he's a overall toxic guy though. Like in
He's-
general,
he's toxic and he's also he's much more savage than Magneto is.
he is. I'll give you that. Magneto is definitely more nuanced and tactical than Black Adam is. Black Adam is more like, let me just run in here and kill everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But does that mean that he's more of a villain because he's willing to destroy the entire world just because he doesn't care?
I think Magneto has the potential to have more regret, whereas Black Adam will not.
But that makes that but that counters your argument. Is that makes Black Adam more more villainous?
He said Black Adam.
Oh, he
I
said.
said
Black
I voted for Black Adam.
I thought you were
but-
going Magneto. And I'm just
no.
at this point.
No.
I'm more playing devil's advocate, and I'm going along going along with the art. What are the arguments and
Everybody's voting Magneto though, so
I just want to know what Phil has to vote.
It's a hard vote for me because it's like on the surface everybody's going to go Magneto, right? Because it's like, oh yeah, Magneto is definitely more of a villain because everybody knows more about Magneto than they do Black Adam, and what they know about Black Adam is from the movie, and that's not much.
I prefer not to learn about Black Adam that way.
Yeah. Because that's honestly the thing. Like, people probably know more about Black Adam from the movie, which he's not. That movie is. It did a good job of introducing Black Adam, but it's not 100% what Black Adam is and how he's represented. He's a lot more savage than they portrayed him in the movie.
I got you, Jen.
I'm kind of on the same rope as Fours, in that I think that Black Adam is more capable of cruelty
Mm-hmm.
and just generally a more evil person. In that Black Adam, like, he's capable of more destruction.
Yeah, I mean that's.
I was gonna say Magneto's like.
Oh, I heard you, James. I read it.
I was gonna say what really pushes me away from Magneto specifically is the fact that he's a Holocaust survivor. He knows, kind of like the capacity of cruelty, and he tends not to go that far because he doesn't want other people to experience what he experienced.
Other mutants.
Right, other mutants. Yeah, I mean, like, he kind of just says. But I mean, like, that's the thing is that, and the other thing is Magneto's been in X-Men in the past too. Like, he's been a part of the X-Men.
Right, but I would argue that Magneto knows Xavier's path, and it's the same goal, but he chooses not to follow it, knowing what it can be.
Yeah. Again, he's led the X-Men though, and he was a good leader with the X-Men when he was. He has changed his mind and generally protected people like humans. Whereas Black Adam is, again, just purely savage and is just like, I don't give a shit about anything. I'm gonna kill everybody that gets in my way. So for that, I go with Black Adam as
okay,
or the more villainous villain.
Yes. Oh, James going, Magneto uses his kid, enough said. But Black Adam is in the Justice League. I don't know if that's true or not.
I don't remember Black Adam ever being a part of the Justice League. I know he's perpetually been a member of the Legion of Doom.
Meanwhile.
All
right. Well, that means, though, even with your vote, that Magneto has this one.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to butcher his name wrong because I don't really know how to say it. But Ra's al Ghul versus Kingpin.
Ra's al Ghul.
Ra's, R-A''S.
Yeah, Ra's al Ghul.
Ra's al Ghul.
AKA the demon's head is what that actually means in Arabic.
Okay, so Ra's al Ghul versus Kingpin.
Ooh, who's more evil between Ra's al Ghul and Kingpin?
Kingpin.
You think
Kingpin's more global?
Yeah, well, but I was gonna say, you think Kingpin is more evil than Ra's al Ghul?
Yes.
Remember, we hate businessmen on this show.
Because my argument is like he's more of like a corrupt businessman that is willing to do a lot of things, but Ra's al Ghul believes in genocide and believes that genocide is the only way to cleanse the world.
I'm gonna pick apart your vocabulary, and you're not gonna like me for it.
Okay.
Cleanse the world. Ra's al Ghul sees what he and his followers believe to be pure, true, unadulterated evil in the entire world. They utilize questionable, unpreferred methods to cleanse it, yet they want to cleanse it. They want to cleanse what they believe is true evil. The Kingpin is a criminal through and through. Evil criminal. His criminal ways, criminal activities stems from a source of selfishness, greed, corruption spread across the entire globe. The Kingpin is
Somebody joined.
literally everything. I got this. Is literally everything Ra's al Ghul would stand against. And ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to let you all know we got a Frey girl.
We
Hi,
got a Frey girl. Brr, 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 brr.
Taking time out from caring for a sick husband and decided to come and say hello.
Hello.
Well,
So,
you're
He
here.
doesn't want me to
perfect
tell
time.
you that. I'm sorry. I'm not taking
Oh.
care of a sick husband.
Because you're both immortal.
Yes.
Mortals don't get sick.
exactly.
I was saying
Yes.
you came in at the right time because the conversation that we're having right now,
Mhm.
I 100% want to know your opinion.
All right.
So, well, before that, Phil, what do you have a counter argument to what I said?
I mean,
Does my argument hold water?
no, it does hold water.
It holds water. You got your liquids all held.
My cousin Vinny, nothing really. Damn.
Oh, you want me to do the Marissa Tomei? No, I don't know any. I can't remember any of the words to that movie.
The movie was so good. I guess the effing thing's broken. It's got- It's the effing thing's broken. It's got 50 pounds of torque.
Oh, I can say that. It's got 50 pounds of torque.
Oh my god, that was so Harley Quinn.
Oh yeah. Usually my
Your Brooklyn.
my Brooklyn goes to Harley Quinn. It just
Mr.
does. I
Mr.
can't help it. Yeah.
I mean, to help maybe sway you, James says that Ra's al Ghul because he's shaping the world he wants to see.
I can agree with that. So,
So we're
Jen,
still
it
doing
is
villainous villains, right?
it's Ra's al Ghul
I
versus
actually-
the Kingpin.
I was just gonna say, so Your Honor, the Utes. What can you say that again? The Utes. What's a Ute? The Utes.
The two Utes, the two what? The two Utes. The two youths. Sorry, Your Honor. Miss Gambino.
Okay. So
So
Phil?
given the massive nerd that you are,
Oh, me. Okay.
the
Thanks.
compliment
I
in our
take
world.
that, totally take that as a compliment.
I was gonna say, which is a compliment in our world, right? Kingpin versus Ra's al Ghul. Who is the more villainous villain?
Well, they both are very similarly like tiered because Kingpin has his minions, and so does Ra's al Ghul, and they both want to shape not necessarily the world, but they want to shape who they have in their control to be like them. Because I don't know if Ra's al Ghul, I mean, he thinks he's on a crusade to stamp out all criminality, but to do that he kills people. So like, you know, if you look at just the movies, if you look at him in Batman Begins, he feels he's a righteous man on a righteous mission. And if a city is not savable, they just burn it to the ground and start over. It's like they salt the earth and nothing ever grows there.
Right.
But Kingpin would do that too. His is just, he's more centrally located to just that one little area, where Ra's al Ghul, he's global. I think if he had known, or had not really known, but if he had been a member of the Court of Owls, the Court of Owls would have been a lot more successful.
Oh yeah,
Because,
there was no argument with that. That the Court of Owls would be a much more well-versed and successful organization had they had Ra's al Ghul within their organization.
yeah, absolutely. I
Right,
mean,
so, I was going to say Gotham Knights, the game, right? One of the through storylines on that game is that Ra's al Ghul doesn't agree with the Court of Owls.
And
I don't see
I
that
don't
he
see
would.
why he would. You know, they do some real suspect things. I really love them as a villainous organization because they're pretty fucking awesome. But, and I apologize for cursing. I know this is your
You can say what you want. You can say what the fuck you want.
I still believe that Raish believes in a greater good. He does see a greater good. That good may not align with the morals of others who walk the planet, but I can almost see like a kinship between him. I look at Raish like almost a
Lex Luthor.
No.
Yeah.
No. Kingpin is the Marvel's Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Hands down.
I don't know
he
about
totally
that,
is.
but okay. No,
but
I don't know.
But Ra's al Ghul is like a second, is like a what's the word I'm looking for? Not a substitute, like a second rate Vandal Savage.
I can see that.
Except Raish is more active with the time he has. Like Vandal Savage is immortal. Raish tries to be immortal utilizing the Lazarus Chambers, which is fine. It's never going to keep him alive forever and ever and ever like Vandal Savage. But again, in the end, as we've seen in stories of the future, Vandal Savage realizes what his activities did. Raish already understands what his activities do. He knows that he hurts. He knows who he hurts. He understands that there are things that will promote the greater good. Raish does not want to watch the world burn to see his bank account get enormous. The Kingpin will happily burn a city to the ground so that he can swim in a money bin like Uncle Scrooge.
So to jump on your point is that Raish will stop when he deems it to be done. Kingpin will never stop.
Kingpin will never stop, but Kingpin will die.
Yeah, and I mean, part of like my counter argument to that is, remember, every villain is the hero of their own story.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, that's the whole thing. Is yes, he has a righteous plan, and he has this idea of trying to save the world. But I mean, every villain has that. Lex Luthor thinks that he's trying to save the world by getting rid of.
But there's an element of righteousness that coincides with a great deal of how the world feels. I can sympathize with Ra's al Ghul, whereas I cannot sympathize with the Kingpin. I don't believe in the Kingpin's ways because corruption corrupts absolutely. Whereas Ra's al Ghul, I do believe there are elements of humanity that need to be removed so that the greater good can prosper. I'm not promoting genocide. I'm saying that there are bad morals, there are attitudes, there are certain things about the way society works that can either be substituted out or removed completely so that progress, for the sake of progress, can continue to progress. Where like the little guy will shine. Like, you know, I see Raish standing behind people who want to do the right thing because it's the right thing. I see Raish standing behind that. Raish does believe in good. He's just so sick and tired of it losing all the time.
You just really have a crush on Liam Neeson. Just admit it.
He will find me, and he will kill me.
He has a certain set of skills. But
he does have a certain set of skills. And now we know where he learned that certain set of skills.
Yeah. No.
From the League of Shadows.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, they are very evenly matched. I really think that they are, but I don't think race is the equivalent of Vandal Savage. I was really like thinking about that. I really think of him as like the leader of the hand. Like he's the DC's equivalent to that, leader of the hand.
Mhm.
Which is in Daredevil's territory. Like that's very similar. But I think that's probably it. You got to think about Talia. Talia and Elektra, I mean, they're pretty similar. So, I mean, you got that. You got similarities there. So,
So who's your vote for then, Frey?
It's so hard because I love
It's
them
not
both.
hard. It's such an easy choice. Just vote for freaking Kingpin and let's move on.
Just say you eat the move and move on.
Well, I'm just
I want Raish to take the L.
Oh.
Like, I hate Ra's al Ghul. I don't want Ra's al Ghul to win this.
I was gonna say that Ray should be it because I think that I think his righteousness, that's really what I think is his righteousness, his belief that he is doing everything for a goal, like for a righteous goal. I think he is more prone to be villainous because he's going to do it by any means necessary. And yes, Kingpin will do things by any means necessary, but he's the classic bad guy. And people, anytime they see him coming, he's a bad guy. So he's not going to have as much belief as Ra's al Ghul does. I mean, if he really wanted, he could have his own cult and really change the world that way. So I think that Ra's is more villainous, to be honest.
So let me ask you this. If Ra's thought he was the problem with the world, would he stop himself versus Kingpin, who wouldn't?
I don't think he would ever waver from believing that he is the good in the world, that what he is doing is correct.
You're right. However, Raish, more often than not, has stayed out of the business of other heroes doing what they got to do.
Right.
He's just stayed out of it.
But it doesn't impact his goal.
Whereas Kingpin, if Kingpin, he's opportunistic. He'll get right into the middle of something if it's going to stop Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Or Daredevil or whoever.
So you got to think about it this way too. They always say when someone's wrong, let him keep talking. It's the same thing. He's like, okay, heroes, you try to save the city. If you don't save it, I'm taking it down. And that's it. Like, he's like, okay, do your job. Be the heroes. After that fails,
what Ra's does too.
And then they call Superman and everything is fine.
Right. But see, that's it. And I think that's why he doesn't interfere with the heroes, because he feels that what they're doing is
I'm going to give you a chance. Like, you know.
Yeah. But what's that word? He feels that it's like insurmountable, something like that. Insurmountable.
Well, if he's willing to let heroes do work, then he's less villainous.
No, because he doesn't believe that they're going to be successful. And ultimately, he will be the one to come in there and cleanse the area, so to speak.
But not beforehand. He lets them try first.
But he lets the heroes waste their energies, and then when he comes to do it, they've been fighting for so long, he just takes a weakened opponent and takes them out.
Which is what Kingpin does too.
Let me throw this out there, right? Did Kingpin ever create a child of his nemesis to train him to kill him? Now that plan backfired on him.
Yeah.
But I mean,
no, because Kingpin would just do it himself.
He literally trained his grandson to be an assassin to kill him because he was Bruce's son. Because it would, he thought that it would, that he could brainwash Damian so much that he wouldn't change his mind on things. But like the idea was, I'm training this kid, and it's Bruce's son. So basically, I had my daughter have a kid with Bruce Wayne. Which, I mean, it turned out to be a test tube baby anyways. But I mean, like, you know, I'm having my daughter have a child with Bruce Wayne so that I can train him to be an assassin, so that it'll be a way to get his guard down so this kid could stab Bruce in the back.
Kingpin would burn the whole world for money. I
He
think that's
would,
I think
yeah.
that's a greater evil.
I guess it's where this one is a discussion that's more, what do you think is more evil? Burning the world down for money or burning the world down for a cause? That's really it.
He's burning the world down. He's burning the world down to get rid of evil
options.
versus creating it.
I'll take the cause over one
Yeah.
person getting rich any day.
Okay.
All right, Phil, what's
Force
your
corrupted.
I'm like,
Change my
okay,
tag.
that's it's a good but I think Raish is going to be more successful and more villainous, but that's just
All right,
we had
Phil?
this conversation with Joker last time, so
Yeah.
I'm just
I kind of feel that Ra's al Ghul is willing to do more. So I mean, like I go with Ra's al Ghul.
Graveyard.
Oh, I'm going Kingpin, so it's tied.
James.
boom, 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 boom.
James is Raish. Tater is Kingpin. We need a tiebreaker. And thank you, James. Usually he says it's usually young Phil arguing with himself. If only young Phil invite James onto the show, that way he would be arguing with himself.
Not happening. Not happening. He's not allowed on this show.
We'll have Van on before we have James on.
All right, we need a tiebreaker here, though.
Hold on.
It's 3-3.
Maybe I can get my son out here.
Oh, heck no. We don't need that Kingpin level brainwashing. Eric,
He'll
are you still in the
just say, "What did my mom say?" Because she's the most
All right,
knowledgeable.
if Eric is still in the chat, what's your vote?
Yeah, Eric.
Thomas, if you're here, please chime in.
Anybody? Last call.
Seriously.
Kingpin versus Ra's al Ghul. Which one is your pick for villainous? Most villainous.
Kingpin.
I feel like I kind of have Wanda hair going on today, guys.
Kingpin.
I have Xavier hair. Well, let's see if someone else joins the chat, but we'll have to get a tiebreaker or leave this for right now.
We could leave it for now and go on
Okay.
to another thing, and then if
Yes.
and then we'll come back to it. Let's circle back around, everybody.
Just add to the debate. Wendy's spicy nuggets are delicious.
Nuggets.
That's very true,
I
James.
don't do spicy fast food. Like
I
really.
do spicy everything.
Well, I mean, like, unless it's supposed to be spicy food, like Mexican food, absolutely do spicy. But like chicken nuggets, I'm not gonna do spicy.
Oh,
All right,
we're
you
doing
guys are
we're doing
while
a
you
Kyber
guys are
Cave
dis-
distance during the hot stuff.
while y'all are discussing food spice, I need to let these dogs out real quick. I'll be right back.
All right.
Come on.
So that's the control board you're working on there, Phil, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
It's
See the-
looking sweet. That's awesome.
Nice. I like it.
That's
All
really
right,
cool.
just jam the cartridge in there.
Right?
I know, right?
First blow on it before you do, though.
I'll put asteroids on it. We'll be
That is the worst thing to ever do to a video game.
You know what? Don't even. That's all.
You act like we still
did
didn't
when
do
I
it.
was young.
Well, do you know what? Do you know why it does it? Do you know the actual reason why you had to blow into the NES games?
Why?
Dirt. The reason why you
Yeah,
blowing.
yeah.
Okay, what the dirt was causing the game to be read as a different region, and that was the anti-piracy, the lockout mechanism that was built into the NES.
Ah.
So there's a really simple fix: is you open up the NES, you snip the region pin, and you never have to blow into a cartridge again.
Okay, let me go back in time and tell my very young self, "Hey, just open this up in front of your parents, and then and just snip this one little thing, and you'll be fine for the rest of your life." Of that,
Jennifer, why did you break your NES?
right? No, they'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing with that?" And I'd be like, "Science." Yeah, my mom used to get so mad at my science experiments. So let's leave young Jennifer alone.
But that was like 1,000 years ago.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just saying because she's immortal.
I am immortal. I said it.
Predates time.
I do. I was
James-
there in the beginning, and I shall be there in the end. I am the Alpha and the Omega.
Well, the restaurant at the end of the world is spectacular.
Yes.
you mean the restaurant at the end of the universe?
Yes.
Yes.
The restaurant at the end of the universe. Yeah. Well.
Yeah, I knew what reference you were making.
Yeah. I need some Dubby.
Its food's okay. I don't know. A little bland.
I'm sad. I'm sad they never made that movie.
Yeah, I liked the movie that they made for Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Mhm.
I thought it was really cute and fun, and I loved that they had Alan Rickman play the
Marvin.
Marvin, yeah, and I loved that. I thought that was great, and I really liked what's his name? That's
Which one?
in the
Martin?
MCU now. Martin, yeah.
Martin Freeman. Yeah.
Yeah, Martin Freeman. I don't know. I always want to call him like something Martin, not Martin Freeman. And so I don't know. Yeah. I just liked his expressions. His expressions in that just crap that was going on was probably the best part of that movie.
What does Mos Def and South Park have in common?
What?
Don't forget to bring a towel.
I
mean, I do have Marvin tattooed on my sci-fi leg.
Do you?
I do.
Marvin is probably one of my most favorite, like AI/robot, like movie, TV people. I just love him.
I can tell you, but you're not gonna like it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's just like so, like, oh.
He's so Eeyore. Just oh.
Yeah.
Speaking of Eeyore, the movie I watched this past weekend. Yeah, did you guys probably didn't listen to that pod?
We're gonna talk about the cannibalizing of Eeyore.
Yeah.
Yes, I did the oh bother. I guess you gotta eat me.
You know, that would also work for the porn version of Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, for the love of God.
What? I'm not, am I wrong?
He came in at the perfect time. He was just like, I don't know what I just came into. It's terrible.
But I mean, it's true.
Yeah. Some guy there said to do it. All right.
Why are we talking about porn and Winnie the Pooh?
Because the internet is for porn? Oh.
No, because we've pretty much run demon porn into the ground.
Yes, Boston. Yes.
Well,
all right.
I mean, I'm sure you guys didn't talk about that before I got here.
What, demon porn?
Oh, Eric came in. It's Kingpin for the win.
Oh, there
we go. Yay. Speaking of evil, I'm wearing my Emperor hood.
Ah.
Do it.
Good.
Do it.
Well, I've got my corgi gang surrounding me right now, so.
All right. So
what
let's
up,
move.
Corgi gang for the win.
All right. I think I know who. This might be a tough one.
You just say it. Just say it, Graveyard. We are adults here. I'm ready to fight. I'll fight anyone.
Are we?
I need an adult.
I need an adult here, adult.
I am an adult.
That's what I would say. I'm like, look, I need an adult. You are an adult. I need an adultier adult to adult for me.
Because adulting is stupid. All right, next.
All right, number 3 seed, Loki. Now, this is comic book versus Green Goblin.
Loki.
We're saying that Loki's more of a villain than Green Goblin is?
Green Goblin has a mental disorder, everyone.
Hey, people with mental disorders can be good or evil.
He can't help that he's trying to massacre Spider-Man and anybody who gets in his way to get to Spider-Man. It is a mental disorder.
So
Loki,
the argument is Loki because Loki does everything by choice.
Yes. And usually gleefully. Let's just say that. He loves the chaos and he doesn't care who gets killed, hurt, as long as it messes with the heroes or Thor.
Are you saying he'd be prancing through the battlefield with streamers in his hands?
Yep.
Because he's gleeful about it.
Yep.
I'd see him do that.
He might do a little ribbon dancing.
He did, he did turn into a horse and bang another horse so that he can make a 6-legged horse for his father. So,
I mean, if you have that type of power, why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you bang other horses?
I just feel like he is. Look, and I think, and for that, I mean, if we want to do the Joker argument, he just wants to see everything burn. He doesn't care. He just wants to see everything burn.
I am going to vote Loki on this one.
Loki?
That's it? You don't have like any heartfelt or like
because he's dreamier.
I have voted.
I have voted.
The force has spoken.
James says Loki.
James says Loki.
Tater88 said not Loki. Actually, I can't remember who was up against Loki. Oh my god.
Green Goblin.
Green Goblin.
I think I just block him from my mind at all times. I'm sorry, guys.
Why?
I mean, Green Goblin is a pretty evil dude, man.
He's very evil.
Green Goblin is played by Mark Hamill. Let's go.
Hobgoblin is played by Mark Hamill.
Oh yeah, Green Goblin is played by
Spider-Man, guys. I know a lot about him. I'm not really a big fan of his. I find him to be a whiny little adolescent, and
Loki.
I have enough of those in my life. No, Spider-Man.
Oh,
so anytime
that's true, Frey girl. You do have to put up with me.
That is true. Yep, and Phil.
Yep.
You truly are the intern who is the backbone of all
I
these people
forgot
on
to
these
change
shows.
my thing to the intern. I was gonna do that. Oh, I'm
You
sorry.
are the witty, quirky intern who holds is the glue that holds our little radio show together.
Who refuses to get anyone coffee.
all right. I mean, I'm saying Green Goblin because let's face it, Loki's just having a temper tantrum.
That's true too. I don't know. I felt sorry for Green Goblin more than anything because he really does have a disorder. And
he doesn't he cure himself at one point and then decides to go back to it?
Well, it's because he relapses. So he relapses. I don't know if it was that he was taking his medication, he stopped, something happened and he relapsed. And then he dies and then his son takes over. Mm-hmm. And that's how we get Hobgoblin, right? Or is that
No, he's still a Green Goblin. We never get the actual identity, at least in the animated series, of who the Hobgoblin is. Okay. It's always portrayed as being potentially many different people.
Well, and
you know who Hobgoblin is? It's Ned.
That's who Hobgoblin. No,
yes.
That's not Hobgoblin.
Oh, it is.
Oh yeah, Ned Leeds is Hobgoblin.
Ned Leeds is Hobgoblin.
Oh really? Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Okay. So in the new Spider-Man movie in Far From Home, was that Far From Home? The newest one?
No Way Home.
No Way Home. They make a whole bunch of references to. Well, if I became if I became a villain, this is what would happen, right? Like they're making all the references to Ned Leeds becoming Hobgoblin.
Well, and him saying, "I would never turn on you, Peter. You're my best friend." He said that in the third one too. So I was like, that was a little weird. But
there's a lot because a lot of people know because the whole thing was he was Ned in the first movie. In the second one, they established that his last name is Leeds. So it's like, oh, he's Ned Leeds, so he's the Hobgoblin, right? And that's the whole thing is. That's where a lot of people were thinking because he lost a whole bunch of weight getting ready for that movie, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people were thinking that he might become the Hobgoblin, or if they show the multiverse, we're gonna see Ned Leeds as the Hobgoblin.
Mm. I think that would be great. I mean, because if you think about it, what hurts the most if you're betrayed by someone you don't already trust, or if you're betrayed by like your best friend or your girlfriend or. Right. And that's what hurts the most. And that's what's going to break you the most. So, and Ned not having Peter to keep him on the straight and narrow, now that they don't know who Peter is, then, I think, yeah.
All right,
but
young
that has
Phil.
nothing to do with the
Young Phil, Loki or Green Goblin?
Who's the more evil? I see. regardless of whether it's a mental disorder or not, I feel like Green Goblin is a more villainous, pure villain because he just thrives on destruction. That's all he cares about is just killing everything that gets in his way.
Yeah.
So I am going to go with Green Goblin on this one.
All right. Well, then once again, we are tied.
I am a
Eric,
persuasive
we need
person.
you. Eric, where are you? Loki or Green Goblin? Unless James is actually changing.
He said what it was the opposite of whatever Tater wanted.
Which he already said is already Loki. Yeah.
Yeah, Loki.
Yeah.
This is a great night for bracket. I got to tell you.
Yeah, this is. That's why. Like I was listening to you guys, and I was like, I've got to get in there.
I got to get
I have things to say.
I gotta show him what's really up.
Like, I can't do this without me. I asked my husband a couple of times. I was like, "Are you sure?" He's like, "Yeah, you can do it." I was like, "Okay." So.
All right.
God,
Well,
we would make such a fan-freaking-tastic radio show. We really, really would. Oh, for the love of
Radio
God.
is
We just need a
bad.
morning show. You know, I should go and like hit up my friend at XM again. And be like, can you guys give us like a nerdy morning show?
I think we would do phenomenal.
I couldn't go to sleep. I'd have to sleep after the show because me in the morning try to get stuff out of me. I'll be like, yeah, it's good. It's good.
So we could be. Oh, check it out! It's Van.
hey,
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
Van won Star Wars trivia tonight.
Yay.
AC represent. All right, Van. Here's your question.
Star Wars trivia is tomorrow.
He
No,
says
He won. He said he won tonight. I assume he was at a bar or something.
Yeah, because I thought it was
Star Wars close today.
what was that? Oh, it's today.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought the announcement that he put out was that I saw that the store was closed today, but that Star Wars trivia was the 24th, which is tomorrow.
Oh.
All right,
Well,
Van.
that
This
sounds like a misunderstanding.
is. He went to a winery. All right, drunken Van. Who's a better villain, Loki or Green Goblin?
Who's a more villainous villain?
Villainous villain, yes.
And we're tied. So some
It's
are
all to you,
Loki,
Van.
some are
Tiebreaker,
Green
Van.
Goblin.
And we won't tell you how we voted.
I
So
will.
that
I
way
voted for
you
Loki.
won't pick what I voted because I don't want everybody to know that I'm your favorite. So.
Not supposed to tell everybody.
You may be
Nobody's
the
supposed
favorite.
to know that you're his favorite. Okay.
You may
What?
be the
Whose
favorite, but I'm
What are you guys
official.
talking about? I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Seriously.
Loki.
Because he does it intentionally. All right, there we go. The Lokis have it. Thank you, Van.
We are the low key Lokis.
Hey,
There you
I
go.
am low key happy about that.
Check out the board.
Oh, that
Sweet.
was so cool.
I watched.
That looks a little
You can-
too realistic.
You can change the settings, but then of course you can reset, and it resets itself.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Graveyard,
that's-
you have got to get that Atari working for this man.
Oh, I think so.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yay!
Asteroids.
I still got the game for you, Phil. I got the ET waiting for you, ready to go. Come on, let's do it. All right. Let's see if we get through this first round of villains here. So the last one for this bracket is Doctor Doom versus Galactus.
Check that out.
What?
Check it out. Hold on, and then pop that open. Come on. Ah,
Oh, how cool. Aw, I remember that room.
Dr. Doom.
Dr.
You
Doom.
said Doctor Doom or Galactus?
okay.
Uh-huh.
Dr. Doom.
That's a hard one because they're both like pure villains.
Dr. Doom.
No, you know
I
what? No, you know
I
what?
know.
I was gonna say I think I vote for Galactus. You know why? Because Doctor Doom, for all the villainous, shitty things he does, if you ask anybody in Latveria how, like you know, what do you think of Victor Von Doom? They'll all say that he is a great king and that he is that he is merciful and that he takes care of the people of Latveria. He is a hero to Latverians, right?
Yeah.
Versus
Mhm.
Galactus, there's nothing good nothing redeeming about Galactus.
No, he's just a planet eater.
Galactus literally is he exists to destroy the universe.
Okay,
But
I'm calling an audible on this because I don't think either one of them are villains. Like,
he's just hungry.
really. Like, yeah, Galactus is just hungry. He eats planets. That's what he does.
Yeah, but
So
Galactus
that's
has
not
also,
villainy.
but he's also gone to war with heroes for the sake of filling his gluttony. Therefore, you can't.
Well-
And the arguments between him and Silver Surfer. I mean, look at that.
Yeah, that's
Galactus makes the
Silver
choice
Surfer stuff would sway me more than the fighting heroes, because if he's just needs to eat, then he needs to eat. But
does he need? Does he really need?
That planet. Oh, I'm so hungry. I could use a midnight snack.
I'm gonna go with Phil on this one. I'm gonna go ahead with Galactus on this one.
Galactus.
yeah, but then you've got Dr. Doom, who he's like, I am a villain. I'm going to be villainous. But it's right. He's right. The the people of Siberia.
Germany thought Hitler was great too. All right, doesn't make him a good person.
Well, but I mean, he does take care of his people, and so that's kind of. But gosh, I mean, Galactus eats planets, so he's killing like billions and trillions of people
on
trillions
purpose?
of
On
life
purpose,
form.
or just to survive?
Yeah, but I mean,
Both.
It's like it's one of those. Do bugs see us as super villainous because they're in our homes and we have to squash them?
Man, screw the roaches.
But that's it. It's like
I will be a
same
Galactus
concept.
to any roach.
So,
Yes, but you have gators around you, so you're the roach to the gators.
Or so
gators around
they
me.
think.
No, that's further south, sweetie. That's not here.
Oh, Force.
Oh no, Force. Yes, you did. I was like, I don't have gators. What are you talking about? Did I tell
do
y'all the
here in
story
Florida.
about when I was little and we lived in South Carolina, and I came home and there was an alligator out in our front yard, and I walked right past it and I went into the house and I told my mom, "Hey mom, there's an alligator out in the front yard," and it was right by the front door, and she freaked out and called the police, which of course, but she was like, "Oh my god, because I went right by it. She was just like, "You could have been killed, you could have been killed, you could have been killed." Woo! And I was just like, huh? I had no idea. So no fear of death.
My internet went out.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
is that what happened?
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm sitting here having a conversation. I'm looking around like, the hell just what? Who just dropped right now? And then I look up and I'm like, wait a minute. Everything just went blank, and I look down at my router, and router says there's no internet. I'm like, oh fuck, internet went out.
That's
James is right. You do argue just with yourself.
That's all right. We're at show's end anyway, and Graveyard and I got to start our stream.
Right
yeah.
So Phil, what's Dr. Doom or Galactus?
Like I said, I go Galactus.
Okay.
So are you just waiting for me and you say that? I'll go Galactus because I really feel like Galactus is the bigger villain, even if he's not intentionally doing it.
That's fair.
So.
Okay. Well,
but that was a weird.
Like think about it, right? Like this, and I don't know if you guys talked about this when I was gone, right? But I mean, like, if you're not a villain, why do you need a herald to tell people that Galactus is coming to eat your planet?
No, and you know what? We didn't talk about that, and that is a very good point, because his herald, that implies that he knows he's going to eat that world with those people on it,
right?
And he is giving them a way out, but not really, because if they don't have access to ships that would take them off the planet, then they're going to be screwed anyway. So
that's the
it's
whole
semantics
thing.
At that point,
right? Galactus's whole thing is I love it. I'm going to eat everyone no matter what. I'm telling you that right now. I will give you a chance to try and run away, but ultimately you're gonna die.
Yeah, eventually I'll catch you.
Yeah, I'm going to eat you. Right? That's basically what it is. And then also Galactus has multiple forms where, like, he constantly is thwarted by the Fantastic Four and is like, okay, well, I'm still gonna eat this planet, and then if I have to kill the Fantastic Four first to do it, then I'm going to. Right?
Yeah.
I think that there is and given that he's also a celestial, he's not just like a force. That he is technically a celestial. I feel that Galactus is there is a level of cognizance and just kind of evil in the choices that he makes, because he is making a choice when he does what he does.
Mhm.
Right. So
Yeah, no,
with that being said, yeah, right. With that being said, yes, Doctor Doom is very much somebody who makes everybody sees Jackie. Everybody's saying hi to Jackie right now. Huh? On my phone.
I mean, just because someone's saying there's coming doesn't make them evil. I mean, Force is coming. He's announcing his arrival.
I
Doesn't
felt,
make him
I
evil.
felt threatened by that a couple of times. to be
No,
honest
but the
with
thing
you.
is that
Prepare for my
you can
arrival.
you can announce your arrival, but when you're announcing your arrival just to tell people I'm coming to kill everybody, there's a level of evil there.
And also,
Are you
Force
sure?
tell-
You don't look at the
Force-
box and don't go, I'm going to eat you?
Force is telling. Here you go. Force. Force right there. There. He's telling us, but this dude's got somebody else coming and saying it. He's not like, hey, I'm in the neighborhood. I'm just letting you know I'm gonna eat you guys. Probably in about a
Except he's
week."
asking Anthony to put up flyers of him Force is coming. So Anthony is his herald.
No, Anthony volunteered to make stickers of this face. We really need to get to our stream now.
Yes.
Yeah. So guys, that is it from us this week. We will continue the rest of this bracket next week. Let's finish up. Is it Galactus or is it
Galactus has it.
Yeah,
Galactus
I was gonna say.
Yeah, so
I
we
think it's
have to
unanimous.
finish off the bracket. We'll finish off the bracket next week. for
Yep.
sure.
And next week I'll be finishing off the Atari 2600.
Perfect.
So next week we'll have a little bit of fun. Now 2 weeks from now is our next guest, our next group of guests, and I am stupid excited about this, guys. I don't know if you saw before what it is. Have you guys seen the movie Paper Tigers?
I've heard it. I actually have seen parts of it. I haven't seen the whole thing though.
So watch Paper Tigers on Netflix. Definitely, you guys got to watch that movie. It is it's a kung fu movie, but it's also a comedy. And the premise of the movie is there's a bunch of former like kung fu, like like fighters, right? They're just like badasses in the 80s when they were kids. And the movie takes place 30 years later when they're just a bunch of has-beens.
Oh wow,
So it's like a bunch of old dudes trying to like fight for their honor.
that's awesome.
And the I guess somebody kills their sensei, and the whole thing is like it's almost like an adventure movie where they're like trying to or like detective movie where they're trying to like figure out who killed their master.
So
Right.
it'd be like John Wick. 5,
Kind of.
right?
It's
Without puppies.
Yeah, it's John Wick without puppies, but it's
A
yeah,
puppy,
these-
a sensei, same thing.
it's pretty funny because like these dudes go and like they'll go and fight like martial artists and be like, oh, okay, yeah, I used to be I used to be the biggest badass, and like people know their names and whatnot, and then they go to fight and they're just like old men and they're not keeping up or anything like that.
Yeah.
So one dude, like, he's just like, all right, let's do this, and he's like, and it's like his hip goes oh, my hip, hold on. It's funny, but like it's good at the same time. So guys, make sure you watch that movie. In 2 weeks we are interviewing the director
Oh wow.
as well as the producers.
Woohoo.
Now you
Oh, wow.
may know one of the producers on this film. Are you guys familiar with Cobra Kai?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Okay.
That's who directed? Oh my
no,
god.
no.
Just
Yeah.
kidding.
One of the
I'm kidding. I know.
So if you guys are familiar with Cobra Kai and Karate Kid and just that franchise in general, one of the producers on that film, I'm trying to grab his last name real quick here. Sorry.
I was like, why is he being so coy?
Right here. Yuji Akamoto
Oh, yeah.
is going to be on the show. Do you guys know who Yuji Akamoto plays?
No.
Are you guys familiar with Chosen?
No, I am.
I'm like, no.
Yuji Yakamoto, who plays Chosen in the Karate Kid franchise, was a producer on this movie. I'll give,
Well, Forrest is real excited now.
I know, right? I'm gonna
So-
give
Source is coming. Oh, what?
yeah, I
Wait,
know,
so
right?
does that mean I get to meet Chosen?
Yeah. So the people who are coming on the show, at least as of now, the guys that we have confirmed that are coming on the show, right here, Alan Duong, Michael Velasquez, Yuji Yakamoto, Daniel Gildark, and Bao Tran. Yeah, these guys are all, it's the entire production team for this movie Paper Tigers. And I'm excited to talk to them. I watched the movie. It was an amazing movie. I loved it so much. It surprised me because, like, you know, I was kind of like, okay, I saw it on Netflix, you know, they kind of promoted it a little bit, and I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it. I watched it and I was like, this is amazing, it's so good.
I am making a Chosen banner.
Yeah,
I'm doing it.
so
I'm doing
and he did confirm that he's gonna be on the show, so
That's awesome.
Yeah. so that's in 2 weeks, so not next week but the week after. Yeah, just get excited, guys. Do me a favor, make sure you watch that movie because that is the subject of what we're going to be talking about.
Sweet.
And yeah, man, I'm excited for it. Shout outs to Vic from the Chew on This podcast for hooking us up with Bao Tran, and Bao Tran decided, well, you know what, let's just get the rest of the producers in on this.
That's amazing. That's so cool. That's
So
gonna be so fun.
So we are going to be kind of we are going to be a little crowded that night, so just be prepared for that too.
Well, you know, if I can dip out. It's okay.
Oh,
I don't have
come and hang out, please. But I'm just letting you guys know, like, it's mainly so we don't talk over each other. But I mean, like,
more than we already do.
right. So that's what we got going on in 2 weeks, guys. Now, of course, we all know if you're loving the content that we do and everything that we do, just so you guys all know, we got merch, people. Beer, 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 beer. I'm too far away from the soundboard to do that, and I didn't have it on me on this thing right here. Right, it'd be nice if I had that here, and that was my fault for not doing it. You know, if anything, I do have this.
Synopsis.
Right. You know, we can do that, or the excitement right now that Forz is feeling can only be translated by. So, guys, if you're interested in merch, we have hats. Hats are $35 each, or $30 if you get multiple hats. As of right now, we only have Galaxy Gray left in stock. Again, it is a little bit far out of my reach, so I can't go and grab it right now.
It's this, but gray.
Exactly, right?
It's, you know, it's your spring and summer color.
Exactly, right? We have shirts. Our shirts are $25 each if you're if we have to ship it to you. $20 if you're local to Sacramento, then I'll just drive it to you. That's the merch right there. And then, of course, guys, shout outs to Eric in the chat. If you guys want to, you have to, not if you want to, head over to lucharillas.com. Check out Lucharilla's merch. We have a brand partnership with Lucharillas. We have the Distance Nerdarilla stuff, but then they also have a Distance Nerding bump box, which you guys got to go check out if you haven't checked out yet. Head over to lucharillas.com. Again, shout outs to Eric, because my man Eric is the bomb, and he hooked us up with all of that. So can find freaky
oh, Mezzo.
I have the remote on. Outside of that, guys, let's go ahead and get some pluggables from everybody here. So, Frey, pluggables.
I love how I always go first. All right. My pluggables are I am Frey Girl. You can find me at Frey Girl on Twitter and YouTube. I am also Gotham_Oracle, and you can find me at in that on Instagram and TikTok. I do appear here on Distance Nerding usually once a week, maybe twice a week. I'm usually here for the download, and I like to drop by on the build, which is what I did tonight. And then I'm also on Kyber Cave Productions. I do the After Dark and show up on random game streams occasionally. And yeah, I do the New Rock Stars modding, so I'm in the Discord there, and I am also one of their mods for their live YouTube news show, I guess you could call it. They kind of do a little bit of everything on that, called The Break Room, and that's at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you guys want to come and catch that, I'll be there, and I'll be Frey Girl.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right. Great.
James will tell me what I missed.
I know, right? As if you weren't there.
Right.
Yes.
Grave.
Yes, so I am Graveyard, co-host of the Mostly Pod Out at Night, Mostly podcast. We release new podcasts every Wednesday at midnight, so we discuss all things horror movie related. So check us out wherever you get your podcast. On top of that, you can find me playing some retro games on Retro Alcove on Monday at Kyber Cave Productions. You'll find Forrest and I live gaming after this show, right? Right now after this, join us over there. We're playing Dead Space Remake, Part 1 of this.
So good.
Yes.
So good.
Also, Kyber Cave After Dark, more stuff in the works. And you know what? Join New Rockstars Discord and Distance Learning Discord and Kyber Cave Discord. You want to find 3 different ways to find me to discuss horror movies with me? Those are your places to do it. I am Graveyard on those Discord servers.
Super sweet. And of course,
I forgot
new
the Discord for stuff.
new co-host of the show, Fours.
I am Fours. I run Fours FX Saber Sounds. You can find my work on saberfont.com. If you go to kybercave.com, you can buy one of these bad boys right here, after which you go to Saberfont, pick up a sound font from myself or a number of my friends like Juan Sith or Harry Solo Fonts. Go support those guys and put some amazing sound effects on your lightsabers. You can find me at Kyber Cave Productions, doing all kinds of stuff. I run the Thursday night Kyber Cave Gaming Live along with my boy Graveyard. You can find me on Kyber Cave After Dark on Fridays. You can sometimes find me on Mondays. And of course, I am now one of the new official co-hosts here at Distance Learning on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I am on the internet just about every freaking night of the week, and that's a scary thing.
And we love it. We love
We love to see it.
And Chosen,
it.
love you.
The excitement to see Chosen.
Oh, it's killing me.
Ladies and gentlemen, you all know me. I'm your boy, Young Phil, the host extraordinaire. That's a lie. I'm just I'm just the side chick of this show. But guys, you can catch us anywhere that social media exists. All Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook Live. Not Facebook Live. It's just Facebook now. Discord. I got to change my script, right? Discord. OnlyFans. It's only pictures of Aaron Watson's feet and mandals. That's it right there. Actually, we should be seeing Aaron Watson pop on the show pretty soon because he's got some stuff he wants to talk about. And
sweet.
It's been a while since we've seen Watson on the show, and we miss him. So I love it. You are the Boba Fett of the build. Sure. I'm the Miles Morales, is what it is right there, right?
There you go.
So, guys, that is it from us. It is time for the dance party.
Oh, I forgot a dance thing.
No, you got to go.
Just dance yourself.
Exactly.
No, I can't.
Dance party time.
No. Guys, I really ran in here, so no. We would have to open an OnlyFans if I did that. So let's just say that.
Yeah, I mean that's.
Hey,
I got something close. I got my Groot.
Teaser, Phil. When I get there, and if you play It's Not Unusual, I can successfully do the Carlton dance.
Sweet.
Not unusual to be loved by anyone.
Hey, so
No.
I saw Tom Jones in concert. once.
Here we go.
Ooh.
He's the guy that sings. It's not unusual. if
Yeah,
he
exactly.
sings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Distance nerding.
I can't find my mouse. There it is.